News overnight, residents in Crimea vote on their future on whether to join Russia or stay with Ukraine. We'll bring you the latest.
A crash sends a motorcycle rider to the hospital last night. We'll tell you how he's doing this morning and have the latest on the investigation.
And a trip down a Northern California river turns frightening for a group of kayakers. We'll show you how they were rescued after getting stuck. Elisa.
I'm Elisa Becerra in Sacramento. Have a good time, but don't drink and drive. The Sacramento police have a new ad campaign to remind you just why you shouldn't do it. Coming up.
Eric.
He had just bought something at a Home Depot, and then he loses his life. Why it happened and what investigators are saying this morning.
Luana.
I'm Luana Munoz in North Sacramento. Deputies are investigating a deadly shooting. We'll have the latest details coming up.
And I'm meteorologist Darren Peck. Expect today to feel nothing like the weekend. For starters, we're going to be 12 degrees cooler, and that's not even the most noticeable change. I'll have that coming right up.
And I'm Sheldon Norris. Pretty good start to the Monday drive. We do have a couple of issues with wind and a downed tree. Full coverage of the Monday commute in moments.
This is Fox 40 News at 5.
Good morning, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy Monday. Welcome back. I'm Bethany Crouch.
And I'm Paul Robbins. At some point today, I want to, with the green tie, go walk in front of that screen that Darren uses for the weather, because it's actually just green and things magically appear on it, and see if my tie could be part of the weather.
I wonder if that means my drink would disappear.
You're drinking the green drink, too. Coming up in this half hour, speaking of green, or actually later in the hour, you know, they dye the river green. In Chicago every year.
I've seen it happen.
It's a crazy color. We have a time-lapse video for you.
And also coming up in the next 30 minutes, how the LAPD is catching bad guys in style. You'll be surprised. But first, Sabrina has your top stories this morning at 5 a.m. Hi, Sabrina.
And good morning. We start with a developing story overnight. Investigators are looking into 15 separate shootings since Friday, and 3 of them have turned deadly. We have team coverage for you this morning with 2 deadly shootings that happened late last night. Eric Rucker is live at a Home Depot on Florin Road, where a man simply putting items into his truck was shot. But first, we go live now to Luana Munoz, who's at Edison Avenue and Bell Street, where one man was shot and killed. Good morning, Luana.
Good morning, Sabrina. All is quiet right now, but you can still see a little bit of yellow tape. Deputies were called here last night when they got multiple phone calls of a man that had been shot. He had been pronounced dead on the scene. Witnesses said that they were surprised to hear a gunshot in this neighborhood.
At first I thought it was like maybe a blowout tire, but it was like really loud, and it sounded more like a shot. And after that, I didn't hear anything else until the ambulances showed up and the cops showed up with all their flashing lights.
Well, deputies have no suspects at this time. Again, it is the 3rd deadly shooting to take place here in Sacramento since Friday. Back to you, Sabrina.
Luana, thank you. And now to another deadly shooting has investigators looking for answers. This one in a store parking lot. Eric Rucker is live along Florin Road to explain what happened. Eric.
Good morning, Sabrina. We do not know any possible relation of the suspect and the victim in this case. We don't know if there's one at all. But the scary fact is someone was shot and killed in this Home Depot parking lot right after they just got done putting stuff into their truck. It happened around 7:40 last night. That's when the Sacramento Sheriff's Department got a call of a shot fired. Witnesses believe there was only one shot, and that's all that it took. Crime tape absolutely littering the Home Depot parking lot last night, and other people who were just trying to buy things themselves got caught up in the mix.
Everybody's just normally shopping like nothing was going on. I didn't even know it was going on until I walked out and seen it physically. And there's a guy laying dead behind the car on my vehicle. So I was kind of like, I know I'm stuck for the long haul.
The Sheriff's Department has not told us anything about any security camera that may be at the Home Depot that could have possibly been pointed at the parking lot. But you can only imagine a chain this big probably has many cameras, and hopefully at least one of them was trained on exactly where this shooting went down to hopefully get any kind of a description of the suspect in this case.
Eric, thank you for that report. New this morning, Modesto police investigating a motorcycle accident that sent a rider to the hospital. The motorcycle and vehicle collided around 8 o'clock last night along Mitchell Road near Finch Road. According to ModestoNews.org, when crews arrived, they found the rider of the motorcycle laying in the roadway with his motorcycle about 15 yards away. He was taken to a nearby hospital with serious injuries. His condition is unknown this morning. No one else, though, was injured during that crash. Also breaking overnight, Crimeans overwhelmingly voted to rejoin Russia by nearly 97%. That's according to the head of the Crimean Election Commission. More than 1 million eligible voters went to the polls Sunday. The Election Commission plans to deliver the results to Parliament. Moscow strongly backs the referendum. Ukraine, the United States, and the European Union consider it illegal and invalid. Paul and Bethany.
97%. Very impressive. 5:06 now at Fox 40. Friends and family hold a vigil to remember a man brutally murdered during a beating in Midtown Sacramento.
28-year-old Josiah Humphreys was attacked in the area of 18th and P Streets last March, a year ago this month. The suspects have not stepped forward. Josiah's mother says she just wants the suspects to understand how much pain they've caused her.
I would ask them to think about their own mother and what she's going to feel or think when she finds out that her son has murdered somebody else's son.
The Sacramento Police Department did interview several witnesses last year, but the suspects have still not come forward. Police say there were 3 suspects in total. 2 years after her sudden disappearance, Sierra Lamar's family is still holding out hope that they may find their little girl. Community members gathered yesterday afternoon at Washington High School in Fremont, where a bench has been built in dedication of the teenager. Police still have few leads into her disappearance, but authorities have charged 22-year-old Antolin Garcia Torres with her kidnapping and murder. It's been a rough few years for those that knew her.
This day, holidays are tough. Sierra's birthday is tough, all those. But we've learned to surround ourselves with, our families and search volunteers. It helps us get through it.
Police say Lamar's DNA was found in Garcia Torres' car in 2012. He pleaded guilty to the charges last month.
New details in Saturday night's Sacramento shooting on Mack Road that sent 3 people to the hospital. One of those victims is in critical condition. The other 2 suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Police say that multiple suspects in sweatshirts walked up to the victims at an apartment. A few words were exchanged, and then the suspects fired. Police are still looking for those that are responsible. And investigators in Sacramento are trying to figure out why a car plowed into a building. This happened near 14th Avenue and Stockton Boulevard. It was Saturday night. That accident caused the building to partially collapse. Sacramento Fire responded to an attempt to clean up in the aftermath. Fortunately, no injuries or deaths have been reported. The condition of the driver, though, is still unknown.
Students at UC Davis are being forced to pay up more for student fees than in any other college in the UC system. This news is according to our news partners at the Sacramento Bee. Those fees are sitting at around $1,700 for the current year. That is more than triple the cost of student fees at UCLA, for example. The money, in part, is at least going to the school's athletic program and campus amenities, we're told.